welcome back to Naked News. We are on to episode 5 now. We have another handful of good articles to talk and discuss about tonight. And we're going to start off with Toshiba adds a gorgeous 4K screen to the satellite P50T laptop.
Yes. So Toshiba released a laptop that basically can show 4K resolution. Now, this is pretty awesome if you're into, video editing or photo editing or any type of digital media creation. The downside to this is don't expect to play any high-end games on this because right now, with the current AMD GPU, it cannot play 4K games. Now, I know this is a big letdown for a lot of people, but you've also got to realize this is the first 4K laptop that's available on the market. And mentioning that, it costs about $1,800 US. So that is pricey.
Yeah, $1,800 laptops. This is when you got to start comparing which is more reasonable. Do you build a desktop or do you get an $1,800 laptop? And there's pros and cons to a laptop. One of the pros is that it's small, it doesn't take up as much space, which might be your thing, but $1,800 for a desktop computer can get you quite a bit of power.
Yeah, and a nice display too.
Yeah, so it really all depends. Like, do you have the space, or do you want something that you can take with you for whatever reason? Maybe it's your work laptop, but that's a pretty crazy work laptop.
Yeah, and on the gaming side, I mean, it could still play 1080p games, but I wouldn't really want to waste that screen on a game that's only running in 1080p.
Is there many movies or anything that are in 4K right now? Maybe that's another cool thing to look
I
into.
believe Netflix right now is experimenting with 4K video on the US side anyways. And I think there's some other, I think you can get some on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I know some people have been putting up 4K videos. That must take a long time to render.
Probably, if you're not in a good area, that probably sucks.
Yeah, so that's definitely an interesting one to look at. Next
Would
up,
you buy it?
um, I would rather spend, if I was to get a laptop, I would rather spend $1,800 on a better gaming laptop.
Yeah, like an MSI gaming laptop or something like that.
Something that doesn't have a 4K screen like that. That's its selling feature, right?
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
I would I would find better use either getting a better built gaming laptop, or I would upgrade. $1,800 on my computer right now would beefcake it out.
Oh yeah, $1,800. I could build an awesome rig.
Yeah. So next up, we have Apple finally confirms it's buying Beats for $3 billion.
$3 billion. That's a lot of money.
That is quite a bit for some headphones.
I think it's not just for the headphone technology, but also for like the audio processing technology too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on that note, I mean, Apple puts out a decent product. I'm not going to play fanboys on this, but I will be straightforward. Their hardware is solid. Their video is pretty damn good with the laptops and also their monitors and their, you know, iMacs. I think they look great. I think the only thing they were actually lacking was some sort of sound. And considering that Apple is used for multimedia creation, not just like videos and pictures, but also audio production, I think this is a big plus for
I've
them.
heard people say though that the Beats headphones are really not all that they're cracked up to be. There's quite a few other headphones that I think, and this is just my opinion, I think Beats is just too commercial and mainstream now. You'd buy them for listening to music on your iPod.
Okay. And on that note, okay, so you buy Beats to listen to on your iPod with, but then they sign this deal and it makes your iPod even better.
Mm-hmm.
How I don't understand how they're losing then.
Well, they're not losing, but I don't think. I think it's just not so much for the audio production side. I think it's more just for the general person to have
Okay.
their headset, well, the Beats headset, and then Apple's making the money with it.
Well, here's my forecast. I think that they're gonna basically start bundling Beats with the iPod headphones. If not, also offer the sound processing technology to the future of iPods.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I think if they go back and they basically start loading up their laptops and desktops with this Beat audio technology and they start pushing them out to professionals, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with the outcome. And I think you're going to see a lot of professionals maybe not necessarily using Beats headphones for the interface, but maybe using like a higher end headphone, like studio mixing headphone,
Mm-hmm.
with the Beats software that'll produce higher quality audio for them. And I think that's really key because not only can they now go into the professional market and say, hey, you know, we don't just have a great product now, we offer this aspect to your specific, you know, professional product.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But like you said, for now, I think it's more so just for the general consumer because I think there is for professionals probably. I don't really know enough about it, but I'm just gonna assume that there's better options for the professional side of it.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that price wise, if Apple can get the Beats headphones down to a decent price but keep the quality, if not keep it the same or better,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll have a hit.
Yeah.
Because right now, $149 for a nice over the ear headphone is kind of pricey for me. I wouldn't personally spend more than about 80 bucks on a headset,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just me.
Anyways, up next we have a high-end smartphone for Android experts.
All right, so the OnePlus One was released, and it's basically got a 5.5-inch display, which is nice, but it's kind of big for one hand. It also is running Cyanogen mod, which is a really cool operating system built on top of the Android system itself. The only thing with that is it's not very stable, which is bad. It's good and bad. The other thing too is the price point, which is really interesting because this looks like a direct competitor to the Nexus 5 and all the other smartphones within that range. Um, it's a non-contract, SIM-free for $299 for the 16 gigabyte version and $349. Again, these are U.S. prices for the 64 gigabyte model.
Those are
So
those are not too bad.
no, and the fact that it's $349 for a 64 gigabyte model is really impressive because that basically doubles what you get with the Nexus 5 32 gigabyte.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's only 249, so only $100 more and you get double the storage.
Smartphones, buying them outright are expensive.
They are expensive, but let me tell you, since I've gone that way and gone with prepaid phone plans, in the long run, it's so much cheaper.
Yeah.
So much cheaper. It's insane. I think my wife and I only pay $100 a month for our plan, and it's unlimited everything. And our data is 2.5 gigabytes until it gets throttled back, and then mine is actually 5 gigabytes until it gets throttled back.
It's a lot of data.
Yeah. Well, I stream a lot of music, so it's pretty awesome.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and our last article for the night is the Pisa's leaning tower has been stabilized.
Now, this is really cool, and I don't care what anybody says, this does have to do with tech. It basically is that the Leaning Tower of Pisa was starting to lean too much, so they were concerned about it collapsing. And basically, in the olden days of the 12th century, workers noticed that it was tilting, and so they tried to compensate for it by kind of bending the building a little bit so that way it would not lean as quickly. Well, come to find out later on, they basically put towers inside of the north side to basically shift it. And it was actually shifting back right to become upright, and then they noticed it just stopped. So it has completely stabilized. It's no longer going to be an upright, perfectly upright tower, but it's no longer shifting left anymore. So it is now doing what the 12th century designers wanted it to do.
Stay.
Many, many centuries later.
Just stay building. Stay.
Yeah. Don't move. Good building.
Yes. Well, that is interesting. But that is what we have for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and come check us out next time.
Yeah. If you guys like the articles or if you want to subscribe to us, that'd be awesome. If you didn't like them, go ahead and click dislike and tell us what you didn't like about them on our page. What we would like is some more interaction. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments post.
Bye.
Bye.